Hello everybody, this is Bhante Joe here, and just thought to record a short Owada for the internet. So thought that maybe you could start by leaning forward a little bit and arching the spine, doing a bit of meditation, and can look about 3 feet in front of us and close our eyes. And can focus in on the breath. Can know when it's coming in, and know when it's going out. If we breathe in a long breath, can just know I'm breathing in a long breath. And if we breathe in a short breath, can just know I'm breathing in a short breath. And can focus in on the breath at the tip of the nose. And if notice any patterns of tension or tightness around the nose, around the face, can just let those relax. And can focus in on the breath at the tip of the nose. And when watching the breath at the tip of the nose, it can be helpful to change one's perception of the breath so that it's not just air that one is pulling in and out of the lungs, but it's a kind of energy that's all around and coursing through one's body. And it's possible to pull it into and out of the tip of the nose from all directions. And before we finish meditating, can spread thoughts of goodwill, wishing may all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make the mind infinite, can make it unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond, in every dimension. May all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. And can open our eyes and do a short reflection on the Dhamma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. So hello everybody, and hope that you're having a great day, wherever it may be in the world. And so yeah, it's in Canada right now, it's turning from kind of fall. It's been very warm fall. It's kind of weather changing, going into late fall and into the winter. And got asked a question today, or asked somebody, do you have any questions? I'm going to record a video. And also, if anybody else watching this has any questions, feel free to post in the comments, and maybe can anything they'd like to see in a future video, please feel free to post in the comments, and maybe we'll plan to make a video about that question. But I'd asked somebody today, and they said the question was, how can I make my meditation improve? And so there's a bunch of things one can do to make meditation improve. Probably the most common one that the teachers recommend is to do a lot of it. So kind of basically anything that a person wants to get good at, they have to do a lot of. There was this, reading this book about kind of exceptional performers a while back, and it was talking about how you'd had to do 10,000 hours of what they call deliberate practice to be an expert. So in other words, it wasn't just like going through the motions of doing something, but actually doing an activity, trying to get better, but using whatever standards there had already been well developed to advance, at least initially, and then actually having kind of like goals, like knowledge. Okay, in this area I need improvement. I'm trying to improve in this way. This is what it might look like when I improve, this kind of thing. So in Pali language, that might come under what they call atapi. It's kind of this desire to become better at something. And this kind of looking to get better, looking to improve, and kind of looking to make one's game better. So in terms of like applying that to meditation, and teachers recommend doing a lot of meditation. That's the kind of 10,000 hour part. In terms of the deliberate practice part, if one can, then always good to try to find like a skilled meditation teacher, especially the Buddha recommends. If you can find somebody who's a noble disciple, and if you're maybe in Asia, maybe in Thailand, there's a lot of people who are, have direct knowledge of the Buddha's teachings. But if we can find a teacher like that, then that can help us a lot, especially if we're first starting out. And then there's this desire to improve. So that means, okay, knowing, not just in meditation is one thing, like, okay, what is it that's pulling me off? Is it thoughts of anger? Is it thoughts of, greed for like cakes? Or is it, worries about the past, worries about the future? Whatever kind of emotion or whatever it is that's pulling us away from our meditation object, then we try to set up kind of goals around curbing that, both inside our meditation practice and outside. So there's various kind of meditation topics that the Buddha gives to counter specific mind states. And so if we notice a mind state coming up over and over again that's always throwing us off, then we try to learn to use this topic, use this tool to counteract it. So if it's anger, then the tool is metta. If it's just distracted thinking, the one he tends to recommend is the breath, learning to just stay with the breath. If it's, thoughts of anxiety, this kind of thing, then in that case, things that can help are, one is just going back to the present, not letting the mind stray off into the future. And if it's a narrative about the past or the future that's kind of toxic, oh, this terrible thing's going to happen in the future, we can just learn to change that narrative. And replace that thought with, things are going to be good in the future. We don't know, but just altering that perception. So whatever it is that's pulling us off, we learn to kind of identify what that is and then set kind of goals on how to counteract it. Usually these things happen in our meditation, the kind of thoughts that pull us off. They have a kind of corollary in daily life. So if it's a thought of kind of anger, okay, we know a certain person, certain situation triggers our buttons. And the next time we're in that situation, we make a determination. I'm not going to react in way X. I'm going to react in way Y. In other words, we make a little plan. And we keep kind of going back to that plan, keep kind of trying to execute that plan until this change becomes more of a second nature. And when that happens, then that feeds back into our meditation practice. And the same thing with thoughts of anxiety, thoughts of whatever it might be, thoughts of anxiety. Okay, what is a situation where I usually get anxious about the past or anxious about the future? Okay, when that situation arises again, I'm going to remind myself that the future is uncertain. I'm going to counter whatever thoughts or worries there might be about the future or the past with the opposite thinking. The future is going to be terrible, is this thinking? No, the future is going to be wonderful. That whatever worry I'm going to have, that could turn out the opposite. So just replace this mental image that's running through our head with a kind of more positive mental image. Either way, we don't know, but this is just a kind of technique to counteract. Not saying this is going to be that way, but just flipping the narrative. Look, it could be this way. And so in doing this, we eliminate this kind of a tendency that the mind is kind of running out during the day, which brings up another important point about generally improving our meditation practice, is that what the teachers really recommend is that we're constantly trying to return to our meditation object in every situation. So if, we meditate like 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, and then the rest of the day is kind of, just thinking about whatever, or, engaging in usual habits. Then when we come back to meditate again, then that momentum from the course of the day, whatever momentum may be, positive, negative, that comes into our meditation practice. So we can kind of use this kind of principle, building momentum, and then at the course of the day, we just try to stay with our meditation object all the time, no matter what we're doing. Kind of our focus, or what they call our satipatthana, or our frame of reference, is on our meditation object, is on the training of our mind. And when we do this, this builds up momentum for the next time we go to sit. So, in other words, our life becomes framed around trying to train our mind, rather than the usual things that the life gets framed around, kind of, okay, is my status going up, going down? Is my wealth going up, going down? Or whatever it might be. It's kind of, definitely not only that, could also be good things, okay, are the people around me doing well, or, am I contributing in a positive way? All these various things. So we learn to take the various external things the mind tends to focus on and flip them, make it internal, so that our focus, our satipatthana in our life, is our meditation object. That's the lens through which we view the rest of our life, is the training of our mind. So when those things come together, when we have this kind of atapi, kind of this desire to get better, we set these discrete goals. When we put in a lot of time meditating, we work towards that 10,000 hour rule of deliberate practice. If we can find a skilled teacher, that's wonderful. They can help to guide us, especially if one is just first starting out, just beginning meditation. That's especially helpful. And then as well, we try to make our life into our meditation practice. We try to keep the momentum going throughout the day so that it carries on when we sit down. So those are a few thoughts about different ways to improve meditation practice. There's probably more ways than that, but those are the kind of 4 that came to mind for this short video. So I hope that everybody has a great day, wherever it may be, and wishing you all the best till next time.